What's up, guys? It's me, Amy, back with another chat. Woo! I have been in the thrift store for the last 3 hours, so before I go home, I think it's fine time to record a video for you guys. Anyways, I want to talk about something really dear and near to my heart. 1 year ago, last August 2024, is when I quit OnlyFans. OnlyFans, Fetish Work, the other similar sites that I was on, like that was kind of like OnlyFans, Twitter, my YouTube channel that I had. Today is the day an era ends. As of today, I have officially deleted all of my online fetish accounts, SW accounts, whatever you want to call them, OnlyFans, Scapbook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram's been gone. As of today, everything is gone. I wanted to document this today. I won't be uploading it today. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see what happens, what transpires over these next few months. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am really nervous financial wise, because that was a big percentage of my income. I'm nervous, but I'm trusting that everything's gonna be okay. That stuff no longer serves me. I didn't wanna do it. I would dread doing it. And I'm feeling a sense of relief. I'm not so worried as I am more like, yay, I don't have to do this anymore. I'm tired of being on the internet and people only see me for my body, see me for like a sexual fantasy or whatever it is. I'm tired of using my looks to get somewhere. I know how to build YouTube. I know how to build TikTok based off of my looks and sexuality. So now I'm gonna do it based solely off of my personality. I could have really grew it and became so big and I knew how to do it, but I just hated doing it. And if you don't like doing something, you don't have to do it. Let's see where this goes. So last year I stepped into obedience and decided to shut all of it down. God told me to, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a struggle. It was hard for me. Y'all know I got saved last year in March, and when August came around last year and God was telling me, to finally quit that stuff, it was really difficult for me. August is my birthday month, and I know this sounds silly, but like during my birthday month, I love to treat myself. I love to, give myself extra things, like if I really want something, I'm gonna purchase it for myself. It's my birthday, like who else is gonna do that for me, So I like to spoil myself a little bit. And I was like, God, really, you want me to quit my extra source of income? I was working in the office at this time, so I did have a 9-to-5, but this was like my OnlyFans was supplementing my income and giving me that extra income so I could go travel and buy things and spend frivolously, which I needed to get my spending together. So yeah, anyways, I was like, God, really, you want me to quit now? During my birthday month? I'm like, Lord, it's my birthday month. And I had a trip planned last year. I was going to go to Tokyo and Seoul. So I'm like, that was a week that I was going to take off of work. And I'm just like, oh man, Lord, like really? So it was a hard one for me. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a hard one, but it took me a few weeks, and then I eventually did it, step out in obedience. And I'm not gonna lie to you, although I was hesitant and worried and scared to lose a main source of my income, especially when I'm living here in San Francisco, which is so darn expensive, it felt good at the same time. It felt good to finally let all of that go. I was at a point with all of the fetish content where I didn't really want to do it anymore. I was tired of sexualizing myself. I was tired of objectifying myself. I was tired of doing that type of content. Even to make the videos, I was so burnt out, y'all. I would dread it. I did not want to make the YouTube videos. I was barely coasting on making one YouTube video a month or every other month. It was that hard for me. I was just to the point where I was burnt out. I didn't want to do it anymore. And obviously, I've always wanted to get married and find my partner, and I'm like, be realistic, Amy. I don't think that the man that I want is going to necessarily want a woman who's doing that, having hundreds of men in her DMs, flirting with her, talking to her, idolizing her, sexualizing her, etc. I don't think the man that I want is gonna want a woman like that. And also, in the next few years I want to become a mom too, and that's not something that I would really want my kids to see or find out. I'm not against it at all. I'm 100% pro SW. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and it's a great way to make money and such. But it just wasn't something that I foresaw myself doing in the long run. You know what I mean? I'm in my 30s now. Like, it's fun when you're young and hot and it's sexy and you're a baddie. Like, it's cool. It's a cool vibe. You know, it was really empowering for me to like go out to be a sugar baby. You know, like, wow, men are paying me $500 just to sit down and have dinner with them, and they're paying for the dinner. And like, it made me feel, and honestly, it made me feel good about myself sometimes, that like this many men were attracted to me, this many men were paying me money. Like, there's so many times when I had gone out in the past and like really liked a guy and slept with him, you know, obviously for free, like what, obviously we're talking and stuff, but it was never really empowering, you know what I mean? And so there was some empowerment behind it, but I'm gonna also lead, you know, I'm gonna follow that up with, I do not recommend it. I do not recommend getting into that lifestyle, because once you do, it's difficult to get out, because you're like, okay, well, what do I do now? You get addicted to the fast money, you get addicted to, you know, not having to work a 9 to 5. You lose that structure because, you know, your life, it's very flexible, it's very freeing, and I do love that aspect of it. But at the same time, like, you can't do it forever, you know what I mean? It's fun while you're young, I guess, you know, but honestly, you don't want to do it. And I was so surprised that the guy I was dating at the time, he knew what I was doing. I told him all about it, and he was cool with it, which really surprised me, because I know a lot of men, especially men that I would date now, would not have any, you know, interest in a woman who does that. Like I said, I'm not saying anything against it or anything like that. You got to do what you got to do. It's a great way to make a lot of money. And I'm tired of seeing people put down other women who are out here doing OnlyFans. Like, why do they think it's a joke? Why do they like say like negative things about it? Like, don't laugh at that person, because I'm pretty sure that person is making way more money than you are at your 9 to 5, or that you will ever make in your lifetime. That's to say that I don't, you know, it's not something that is for me. So, and I struggle with, I go back and forth with it, you know, because I love God, I follow God, I walk with God, but at the same time, it's like, I know that's not morally right, and I know that's not something that us as Christians should be doing, but I also understand, like, a lot of times, like, you have to work on the street to make money, because you don't know any other way to make money, you know what I mean? So like, I'm here for both sides of it. Maybe God will convict me one day and tell me to be against it or something like that, but I don't look down on anyone who does that at all. In fact, I know, I look at her and I know she's making a lot of money. So anyways, what I was getting to is, I quit that last year, and yeah, it was hard and scary for me, and that was my extra income, but thankfully I had the 9 to 5 to fall back on, which pretty much took care of my bills with like a little bit of money left over. And it was just scary for me to do that, but it's something that, like, I was so burned out on. I kind of wanted to do it anyways, and I just wanted to make sure that I was walking in obedience. And I know they always say whatever God takes away, he will restore, you know, like double it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still waiting for that this year. Like, you know, literally, like, I'm unemployed and I don't even have a job this year. And it's been tempting for me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of people have hit me up on my old accounts and have said things like, hey, if I can get some of your old content, like, I'll give you hundreds of dollars for it, like just one video. Like, it's really, really tempting, but I have to keep reminding myself, you know, to just say no. Yes, it's money, but it's like, whatever, you know, that money is gonna be nothing compared to what God is going to, you know, bless me with when the time is right. It was hard though, you guys. Like, my YouTube was growing, like, it was steadily growing. It was at about, like, I think it was almost at 40,000. And then my Twitter that I shut down, I think it was either 11,000 or 15,000. I had remade my TikTok, which was at about 5,000 ish. The original one I had before it got banned was at 40,000. So it was honestly, it was hard. Like, I spent a couple of years, like 3-4 years, really building up those channels, really like making a name for myself. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do through it. Like, I was really proud of myself because I had worked so hard and I had done all that. But then I thought to myself, you know, like, if I can work hard on that, I could work hard on other things, you know? Like, for me, when I was doing it, I decided to do fetish work because I wanted my niche to be different than what other people were doing. Like, everyone's doing OF, like, it's super, super common, but you want to do something that you stand out in if you want to make good money. You know what I mean? Like, everybody looks good on there, everybody this, everybody that. So I wanted to do something different. So the specific fetish that I was doing was very much different than a lot of things I saw on there. Like, there wasn't a vast market for it. You know, the one thing that really broke me last year and really made me want to stop doing it is I was at a basketball game over in Oakland, and I was just sitting there, and there was this adorable young girl next to me. She was probably like 10, and I think she whispered to her mom, and their mom said, "Hey, my daughter says she knows you from YouTube." and I looked over at the daughter. I was like, I started blushing. I was like, oh my gosh, because, you know, it was a public account, obviously, but it was a fetish account. But what I was doing can seem funny or silly to young kids. There was younger kids on there, even though it was 18 and over. But, you know, they still have their own accounts. But basically, like, the kids don't know that it's a fetish thing. Like, they probably just think it's funny and silly. But technically, it's geared towards, like, older audience, like men and sexual and stuff. And, you know, I was like, and I told her, I was like, do you want to tell me? I was like, you do? I was like, do you want to tell me the name of my channel? And I was like, and she was kind of shy. I was like, well, if you want to whisper it in my ear, let me know. She whispered it in my ear and she said the name of his channel. So it was in fact me. And, you know, at first, like, I was really like, wow, someone recognized me, someone who, like, all the way out here in Oakland, like at the basketball game, she's randomly sitting next to me. I was like, wow, that's really cool to be recognized. And that's like the second or third time that I had been recognized. Not a lot of people like really knew me. Like I said, I only had 40,000, so I didn't have like a ton of people on there compared to like a lot of other creators. But for me, I was really proud of myself because 40,000 was like, wow, this is amazing. So I thought about it, and, you know, I took like a couple pictures with her. Like, I thought it was really cool. And then later on, I think I get home, or maybe it's later on in the game, I'm like, there's kids watching this. There is, if there's one kid on here, there's plenty more children on here too. And that was kind of like a big deal breaker for me. And that was last June. So I didn't stop it until August, 2 months later, but it really, it got to me. It got to my heart. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be out here setting example for young kids to do things like this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it essentially, it really just got to me. It really just broke my heart. Like, you know, I love kids, and I don't ever want to see my nieces, nephews on here like doing things like that, thinking it's okay, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, it seemed all fun and silly, but at the end of the day, it's not silly and funny, it's sexual. And back when I lived in my old hometown, it actually went around the whole high school. Like, my page, my TikTok was super popular with the high school kids. I was dating a guy, and his daughter, who was like 12, she was in junior high, she was on TikTok all the time, and she had seen me on the For You page, and she's like, oh my gosh, is this Amy, to the guy that I was dating? I was so embarrassed because he found out what I was doing. I was like, oh my gosh. But he was cool with it too. Like, this was a different guy. But essentially, like, he had, you know, young sons as well who were all in high school, and they all had a bunch of friends, and it was just going around the high school like crazy. Like, I don't know, my whole like channel and everything got leaked to everyone in my hometown, and I didn't really care. I mean, I did, but I had to act like I didn't care, you know, because I'm out here, I'm making money, I'm traveling the world, I'm moving to San Francisco shortly. Like, I'm literally living a life off of this dirty money. So I tried not to let it get to me, but at the same time, realistically, like, it was embarrassing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, they found my Twitter, which had like, you know, like some unclothed content on there, and it's like, these are teenagers looking, and it's just like, I'm out here dating your dad, and you're over here looking at videos of me on there. It was just such a wake-up call to me. But at the same time, I was addicted to the fast money. I was addicted to that lifestyle, and God really had to be the one to come to me and get me off of there. Like, he really had to be the one to come and set me straight, and I'm so grateful for that, because that's embarrassing. Like, it really is. I mean, I got to the point where it didn't bother me that much. You know, I'm like, whatever, I'm making money. But realistically, like, that's not the woman I want to portray myself as. Nobody's going to take that woman serious. You know what I mean? Like, the things I was posting, like, no one's going to look at me respectfully. And like, as I'm getting older and growing up, like, I want to be respected. You know what I mean? I don't want to just be thought as this, like, I don't know how to explain, this object, you know what I mean? And I got so exhausted and burnt out on that, and I wanted the dudes to take me serious. And yeah, I loved being a baddie and being in my baddie era. Like, I thought that was so cool. And, you know, I got my body done and my breasts done, and like, I loved going out and looking good and having the guys that I date be attracted to me. But like, in the end, like, that never got me anywhere. That never got me to that long-term relationship that I wanted. That never got me to, you know, being proposed to and having my husband. And what I'm trying to say, you guys, is I'm very grateful that I walked in obedience, even though I'm still not seeing, like, you know, I'm still not seeing like the money come back to me. Like I said, like, I'm freaking unemployed right now, but I know that it's all going to work out for better. And I'm so grateful for God to take me out of that lifestyle. Like, I thank him all the time. Like, thank you for getting me out of that, because I couldn't have got out of that on my own. I would not have found a job that made as much money as I was making doing that, you know, like, and 4 years spent putting effort into it, work into it. And that's okay. You know, like, I'm much more happier, like I said, not doing it, not being involved in it, but it's hard. And I want to come and remind you guys that it'll all work out. Trust God. He has a bigger plan for you. I didn't even want to share this testimony until, like, you know, something had really come out on the other side, like financially. But I think it's an important thing to share, and it was just on my heart to share, because I'm really proud of myself, and I don't like to boast or be humble ever. But like, I mean, I don't like to boast or, like, you know, like, I like to stay humble, but I'm boasting about God and his works that he's done. Like, I'm really grateful to not be doing that anymore. Like, I feel better about myself, and it just doesn't line up with who I'm becoming through him. It doesn't line up with my higher self. It's not something I wanted to do long term anyways. So thank you to him for getting me out of that. Yeah, it was hecka hard to quit. And sometimes, you know, I think about, man, you know, I could come out of retirement just for like a few videos and make a few $1,000s, you know, like, my birthday's this month. But realistically, it's like, I don't even want that money. That money is nothing compared to what God is going to, you know, provide for me and do for me. And I don't want to go back against his, like, calling for me. You know, I was obedience. I stepped out in obedience, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, if you're struggling with walking in obedience right now, especially when it comes to something financial, I got you. Like, I know how it is. Like, I totally get it. Like, it is hard, girl or guy. Like, it's hard to step out in faith, but just do it. It's all for the best. He has a greater plan for us, and 100%, I am so glad that I did it, and no, I do not regret it. I'm trying to, like, get my videos out without having to do much editing. So I'm like, just get all the words out, and don't take a lot of pauses, and don't lick your lips a whole lot so we don't have to edit that out. Anyways, I'm gonna go take my butt home. I'm tired. I want to go eat. I have not eaten since breakfast this morning. I just want to get out and go to the thrift store because they were doing half off today. All right, love you. Bye.